everyone, welcome back to Get Your Play Online. My name is Megan and happy Sunday Fun Day. Today we're going to be creating a washing farm animal sensory bin. This is a great activity that engages all the different senses of touch, smell, and sight as we explore with farm animals in the dirt and water. We're also going to practice our fine motor skills as we use different cleaning items such as toothbrushes, sponges, and washcloths to clean the dirt off of our farm animals before they head to the barn for the night. Before we get started, we're going to need to build our sensory box. So you're going to need a couple of items for this. So first you're going to need two plastic bins. So I'm using these ones. If you would like to do this activity again, it might be best to use a bin that has a lid that you can put the lid on when you're done and then open it up when you would like to use it again. So I've got two bins. You're also going to need some dirt. So I collected this dirt from outside. Any kind of dirt will work. You're going to need a sponge, a toothbrush, some Dawn dish soap, some plastic farm animals, and I've got some different variety here of different animals, some water, so I've got mine in a vase ready to go, a washcloth, and you're going to need either a plastic tablecloth or some paper towels to lay down in your space so that we don't want to make too big of a mess. So now, once you have all of those items ready to go, we can begin constructing our sensory box. So we want to first prepare our space by laying down our paper towel or our plastic tablecloth. So I've already done that. You can see that here. This will help keep our space clean and protected in case of any spills. So we're going to start by making our muddy dirt sensory box first. This is where all of our farm animals are going to play in the mud before they get cleaned off. So you're going to need to open one of your plastic bins. So we're going to fill our plastic bin about halfway up the side with some dirt. So I'm going to go ahead and spoon some dirt into my box. You want to make sure the bottom is completely covered with dirt. So I've got some dirt in there. I keep spooning it in, filling it up. And you can just dump yours right in if you'd like, or you can spoon it in carefully like I'm doing. Now I'm going to stop here, and before I add some more, I'm going to add some water because we want to make it nice and moist so that our farm animals, when they're rolling around and having fun in it, they'll get nice and dirty. So I've added just enough dirt to cover the bottom, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. We don't want to add too much water to our dirt because then it might be too watery and too muddy for our animals to play in. If your dirt starts to look more like dirt soup, you might have too much water, so you might want to pour some out after. But we're going to mix this around and make some nice muddy dirt here, and I've got a lot of water here, so I'm going to add some more dirt and stir it around. I'm going to add the rest of my dirt here. We want it to be nice and full of dirt so that when our farm animals play in it, they'll get nice and dirty and have some fun playing in the mud. So we've got to stir around our dirt, get it nice and moist with water. I've still got some dry spots, so I'm going to add a little bit more water, but again, not too much, because we don't want some dirt soup. So at this point, I've added about 2 tablespoons of water to my dirt to make it nice and muddy. So you can kind of see that we've got nice and wet dirt here that our animals are going to love to play in. Alright, so once you've got that mixed together and it's added water and it's not too watery, we can go ahead and add our farm animals in. So I've got some plastic farm animals here, so I'll show you which ones we're going to add. You might have different sized farm animals. I've got some smaller ones, so that's why I have a smaller bin. But based on the size of your farm animals, if you have larger ones, you might want to use a bigger bin, depending on the size of them. So I've got my horse here that I'm going to add. I've got a goat as well, and a pig. Lots of different animals can be found on the farm, so we've got lots of options here. We've got our sheep, a cat as well. Sometimes cats can be found on farms. We've got a duck, our chicken, a goose. Sometimes geese can be found on the farm too. A dog. We've got a rooster, a donkey, and a cow. So those are all the farm animals I have. If you have other animals that you think that are found on a farm as well, you're also welcome to add those in. So we've got our mud, dirt, sensory bin with our water to make it nice and muddy, and we've added our plastic farm animals. So the next step, so we're going to put this one aside because now we want to make our washing sensory bin with our water and our soap. So we're going to move this one aside, and you're going to want to grab your second sensory bin. So I'm going to take the lid off of this one. So this one's very simple to make. We only need 2 ingredients, so we just need some water and our soap. So I'm going to go ahead and add my water first. We want to make sure we're filling it up about halfway up our bin. We don't want it to be too full, but we want to make sure we have enough water as well. So I'm going to pour the water in here. And if you spill water, that's okay. This is why we have our paper towels or your plastic tablecloth to keep your area nice and clean. So I've poured some water in and filled it. Whoop, it's not quite halfway yet, but that's okay. And you might choose to fill your bucket up with water a lot or a little. It's totally up to you. I've filled mine about halfway. And then I'm going to add just a small squirt of soap. We don't want too much soap. Or actually, that is up to you. If you want a lot of bubbles and you want your animals to have a big bubble bath, you might want to add more soap. But if you don't want a lot of bubbles in your water, you want it to be more water than soap, you might want to add a little bit less soap. So I'm going to add about 2 squirts of soap. 1, 2. And then with my toothbrush, which we're going to use to scrub our animals later, I'm going to stir around my water and my soap to kind of get some bubbles forming. So I'm stirring it around. Oop, I see it starting to mix together. We're going to have some bubbles here. We're creating a nice little bubble bath for our animals to get washed in. So I actually think that I'm going to want to add some more bubbles for my animals. So I'm going to add another small squirt of soap to our thing, and I'm going to keep mixing it together. There we go. It's getting nice and soapy and ready to have our animals washed in. Alright, there we go. We've got some nice soapy water ready for our animals, so we can go ahead and put that aside. And so I've got my toothbrush that's going to be used to wash and scrub the dirt off of our animals and get them nice and clean. Then I also have a small sponge that can be used as well, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in my bin. I also have a washcloth that we can use as well, that can be dipped in the water and used to rub the dirt off of our animals, or it can be used to help dry the animals off after they've been washed. So however you'd like to use it, I'm going to put it next to my bin to use it when I'm ready. So we're going to go ahead and bring our mud sensory bin, our first one that we made with our farm animals in it, back over. And now that we have both of them made, we are ready to engage in some sensory play with washing our farm animals. So now we can help get our animals nice and clean. So it looks like our animals have had some fun on the farm today. So I'm going to have them play around. I know Mr. Horse loves to roll around in the mud. So he had an itch on his back earlier. So he was rolling all around on the farm. So he's really dirty today. And then Mr. Pig loves to spend time in the dirt. And he actually invited his friends to join him today. So his friends, the sheep and the cow, also enjoyed spending time rolling around in the dirt. So they've been out there playing all day, and the cat decided to join. The chicken also decided to join. So they've been having a lot of fun playing around in the dirt. And oh my goodness, they are so dirty from rolling around. You can really get your hands in here and play with your farm animals in the dirt. Oh, and look, the donkey, he saw all his friends having fun in the dirt, so he wanted to join in as well. So we've got a nice big area of all our friends, farm friends, playing around in the dirt. Now, Mr. Duck, he didn't really want to get dirty, but his friends were splashing around so much that he ended up getting muddy and dirty as well. Oh my goodness. So the cow, right now he's just laying in the dirt because it feels good after a hot day. The dirt is nice and cool, and he's having some fun just laying there relaxing. But, the farmer, he's calling in the distance, and he says that it's time for them to get ready for dinner, but they can't come to dinner unless they are nice and clean. So it looks like we're gonna have to wash them off, and it's time for them to all get a bath before they can go to dinner at the barn. So who do we think should go first? I think maybe because Mr. Horse decided that he wanted to play in the mud first, maybe he should go and get a bath first. So we're gonna move him over. He's gonna go over to our bathtub and go right into our water. Now, do you think Mr. Horse would like to be cleaned off with our toothbrush or with our sponge? What do you think? I think Mr. Horse might like the feeling of the toothbrush bristles because it tickles him. So we're going to use our toothbrush. We're going to dip it in our water. We're going to wash Mr. Horse, making sure to get his legs and his hooves all nice and clean because he can't have any dirt in them. Otherwise, he won't be able to go to dinner if he's not clean. We're going to clean his tail off, get him all nice and clean. Oh, we got to get his back legs too. And under his tummy. Oh, I bet that tickles him. Alright, we're going to rinse off all the soap, get him nice and clean. And then we're going to use our washcloth and wipe him off. And he looks like he is ready for dinner. Oh, he's nice and dry now. So we'll put him over here because he is ready for dinner because he had some fun playing today in the mud, and then he got all clean and washed off, and we helped him wash off with our toothbrush. So now, who do we think needs to get a bath next? We've got all of our animals here still playing in the mud. I don't know. What do you think? Mr. Cow looks pretty dirty. He might take a while to get clean, so maybe we should get started on him. So he's gonna come on over into our bath. And Mr. Cow is pretty ticklish, so he doesn't like the toothbrush because that really tickles him. So we're gonna be gentle and use the sponge instead. So we're gonna make sure to get his horns and all the dirt off of his back. He's got lots of dirt on his tummy, so we gotta wash in between his tummy. Get his tail. Oh, make sure to get his face nice and clean. We don't want any mud on his face. Alright, does he look pretty clean to you guys? Alright, we're gonna give him one last dunk in our water, and he's nice and clean, so we're gonna wipe him off with our washcloth. Dry him off real good. And then he's ready to join Mr. Horse in the barn. And they are going to get ready to eat some dinner. Here we go. So we've got two animals nice and clean after they've been playing in the mud all day. So let's see, who do we want to join us next? Mr. Pig looks like he's still having fun rolling around in the dirt. So we're going to let him play for a little bit longer before we get him nice and clean. But we're going to do Mr. Duck because he wasn't sure about the dirt earlier. So we might as well get him nice and clean. So we're going to put him, he's going to swim around in our water, take a nice bath. What do you think? Do you think we should use our toothbrush or our sponge to get Mr. Duck nice and clean? What do you think? Let's use the sponge for the duck. He's got some feathers, so we want to be gentle with his feathers. So the toothbrush might be too rough, so we're going to use the sponge. We're going to get that dirt off his beak and around his feathers. Mr. Duck doesn't love the mud, so we want to make sure he's nice and clean and ready for dinner. There we go. In between his little webbed feet. We'll give him a nice dunk in the water, and then he's going to dry off with our washcloth and then join our horse and our cow in the barn. Here we go. So we now have 3 animals that are nice and clean after playing in the mud and the dirt all day. So it looks like Mr. Goat is getting a little antsy because he is hungry for dinner. So he's headed on his way over to us to get a bath for dinner. So let's see. He loves the bristles on the toothbrush because it tickles him too. So we're going to use our toothbrush to help get him nice and clean. Here we go. We want to get around his neck, get all that dirt off because he's been rolling around and having some super fun in the mud. Get under his belly and around his back, nice and clean. What do you think? He looks pretty clean to me. We're going to give him a nice swish around, get all those bubbles and soap off. And we're going to use our washcloth to dry off Mr. Goat. All right, he's joining our other friends, our other farm animal friends, as they are getting ready to eat some dinner with the farmer in the barn because they are nice and clean. So our other animals aren't clean yet, so they cannot join for dinner yet. All right. It looks like our cat is ready, so we're going to take our cat. We have to be careful because sometimes cats don't like water, so we're going to hold him above and be gentle with our sponge. Oh, I hear our cat purring, so he might be liking this bath that we're giving him. There we go. Cat's got some soft first. We're going to get some done. Make sure to get all those soap off. And then we're going to use our washcloth again to wipe off our cat friend. There, we wiped off the bubbles off his face. He is all clean. So he is also joining our other friends in the barn who are getting ready to eat some dinner. All right, we're down to a couple animals left. So let's see, we've still got our donkey, our pig, our dog, our sheep, our goose, our chicken, and our rooster. Who should we grab next to wash for dinner? It looks like Mr. Pig is still having some fun rolling in the mud, so he doesn't want to leave yet. So we'll take Mr. Donkey because he looks like he's ready for some dinner. So he's gonna make his way over into our bath. Let's see, Mr. Donkey likes it when we wash him with the toothbrush. So we're gonna use that to get him nice and clean, all ready for some dinner. Get this thing around, making sure his mane is nice and clean, getting all that dirt and all that grime out that was gathered earlier. And give it a nice rinse, get all that soap off. And dry our donkey off. So there we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 animals all nice and clean and ready for some dinner in the barn after a long day of playing and having some super fun in our mud sensory bin. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 animals left still playing in the mud, so we are almost there on getting them all cleaned up and ready for dinner. Let's see, who should we clean off next? Should it be the sheep or the goose? What do we think? I think we should do the sheep. He looks ready to get some, he's got some dirt all over him, so he needs a good scrubbing before he gets to go to the barn. So let's see, let's use our sponge for Mr. Sheep. He's got some nice white wool, so we want to make sure we get all the dirt off so it's nice and white again, because he was looking a little brown with all the dirt on his wool. Got to clean off his feet so he doesn't track mud into the barn. There we go, get around his face. And he's really soapy right now, so we're going to give him a nice rinse in the water and get all that soap off. And we're going to use our washcloth to dry off our sheep. All right, so, our cow and our donkey are laying down. They must be real tired from playing in the mud today. But we're almost ready. They're going to have some dinner, and then they're going to go to bed for the night, and then they might get to play in the dirt again tomorrow. But we got to finish washing off all of our animals before they can all eat dinner and go to bed for the night. So let's see. Our dog looks ready. He looks hungry, so we're going to get him out of the mud. He really had some fun today because he's got some dirt all over his face from playing in that mud. So we're going to pop him into our bin and use our toothbrush because he's got some fur that we want to make sure we get all of the dirt out of. Here we go. We're giving him a nice scrubbing, making sure to get behind his ears. Alright, so he's nice and clean. He's got some soap on him still, so we're going to swish him around in our water and then use our washcloth again to dry him off. Alright, there we go. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 animals all clean and ready for dinner in the barn. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 animals left over that we're gonna clean still, or that still need a bath after playing all day. Looks like Mr. Chicken is ready for a bath. I hear him clucking, so that might be him telling us that he's ready for a bath. So we're gonna head on over and put him in our bin, and we're gonna use our sponge for him because he's also got some feathers that we want to make sure we are being nice and gentle with our sponge. Nice and gentle with our chicken. Right. Give him a nice swish in our water. And then we're going to dry off our chicken and send our chicken to the barn. Here we go. So this chicken is joining the rest of our animals in the barn that are nice and clean. Oh my goodness, Mr. Goose, I hear him honking. So he's got some dirt all over his face. He must have been really having some fun in the dirt today. So we are going to give him a nice scrubbing. Our goose also has some feathers, so we want to use our sponge to make sure we're being nice and gentle. His feathers are not as tough as the fur on the other animals, so we're going to use our sponge to get them nice and clean because it's a little bit nicer and gentler than our toothbrush. So it looks like he's all clean. We've done a good job getting all that dirt off of his face. So we're going to swish him around in our water and wash all those bubbles off. And then use our washcloth again to get our goose all nice and clean. Alright, so he's joined the rest of our animals. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 animals all clean and ready for dinner in the barn. So let's see, who do we have left in our sensory bin? We've got 2 animals left. We've got our rooster and our pig. The pig loves the dirt, so he might be the last one because he does not want to get clean and ready for dinner because he just loves rolling around that dirt and he's still so dirty. So we're going to leave him for last because he's just having so much fun. So we're going to take our rooster so he can join his chicken buddy in the barn for dinner. So let's see, our rooster does also have feathers. So we're going to use our sponge, again being really gentle, not to pull out any feathers on our rooster buddy. Making sure to get his tail feathers because they are nice and bright colors, so we want to wash all the dirt off so you can see the colors. Give him a nice swish in the water and then use our washcloth to get him nice and dry before heading to the barn. Here we go. So our rooster has joined the rest of our animals as they're getting ready to eat some dinner in the barn. So we've got 1 animal left, and it is Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig has had so much fun playing with his friends in the mud, and he invited everyone to join him because that is what he likes to do every single day. So he is finally ready for dinner because he is our last farm animal friend. So we're going to pop him in to our bath so we can get all clean and ready for the barn. So Mr. Pig is very ticklish, and he really likes it when we use the toothbrush because it makes him snort and laugh. So I'm gonna scrub our pig real good because he's super dirty from being in the mud the longest. Making sure to get him nice and clean, get all those different areas, get his curly tail and his belly, his pot belly. Make sure to clean in his snout too. Alright, does he look nice and clean for you guys? He looks pretty clean to me too. Alright, we're going to give him a nice good swish in the water. And dry our pig off. All right, wow, so we just cleaned all of our animals that were on the farm. So let's count and see how many animals we have total that played in the mud and then got a bath and are ready for the barn for dinner. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, we have washed 12 animals today. That was a lot of work, but they had some fun playing in the dirt and got lots dirty. All right, so just to recap, we used our toothbrush and our sponge with some soapy water to wash all of our farm animals and get them ready to go to the barn because they couldn't go to the barn dirty because that's what the farmer said. So our animals had so much fun playing in the dirt today and then getting a bath afterwards. So now we are all done playing in our sensory bin now. If you would like to do this activity again, you can put all of your farm animals back in the dirt and then put the lid on and save it for another time when you are ready to play and our farm animals need a good bath again. And so you can, if you have containers that have lids, this is a great way to save this activity and do it again. So I've just put the lids on and they are ready to go for the next time that our farm animals need a bath. So the washing farm sensory bin is a great way to practice your fine motor skills while you use a variety of scrubbing tools such as a toothbrush or a sponge. And you can even find some other tools to use that would be great for washing the animals. So this is a great way to engage in your sensory play because you're touching and feeling those different wet and dry materials. So thank you so much for joining me today on Science Sunday, and we'll see you next time on Get Your Play Online.